To give a simple yet accurate answer to what spirituality is, we must first accurately define what spiritual is. A standard milquetoast definition of spiritual is overrelated to the spirit, which is a lukewarm one at best. One of the advantages of constantly working on your development is you will get to the point where you can create better definitions than some of the ones that are in standard new dictionaries. Our personal definition of spiritual is, drumroll, full spectrum nature. If you respect and appreciate nature and don't want to degrade or hurt it, you are evolved enough to appreciate the spiritual world, the natural queendom and kingdom of which human beings are very much a part. Yet most people in technological first world modernity, and I know this is ironic as we say this from our office with monitors, cameras, computers, and color grading panels, most people have little to no idea about what nature is fully capable of. They associate it only as the natural material world, like one would see from a wonderful David Attenborough documentary, which are only the physical aspects of nature. And while the physical, natural world is awesome, yet brutal because the food chain is absolutely brutal, and material nature is beautiful and amazing and awesome, the vast, vast majority of nature is the deeper, higher, larger, greater, more complex, supernatural aspects of it. From the infinitesimally small to the galactically, cosmically large, including what is beyond the five senses and what science still has much to learn from. So the spiritual world is the full spectrum of nature, from the material to the non-physical. Since human beings are a part of the mammalian queendom kingdom, we are part of nature, and we have mental and physical software and hardware, which for millions of years has been designed not just to survive within nature, but to interface with the full spectrum of nature, the spiritual. Because we are absolutely spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. If we give a very simple modern definition of spirituality, one of which would be related to the human spirit, then that means we must define what the human spirit is. And we'll get more into spirit and soul in future essays and insights. But generally, it refers to matters of the human mind, heart, and will through their connection to something beyond just the physical material world. The human spirit is the incorporeal part of woman-man. What you are beyond your body, because you are not exclusively and only the meat suit that is your body. And the fact that we are spiritual beings with a human spirit, like all life forms, that aspect of yourself is what can interface with the more full spectrum of nature with something like dreams or meditation, for example. Hence, spirituality is our ability to interface with nature and especially the larger, deeper, higher, greater spectrum of nature. Plain and simple. Any concepts like oneness, awareness, unity, meaning, the divine, God, existence, personal growth, consciousness, searching, as above, so below, seeking moral and ethical guidance, explaining, path walking, etc., are all attempts to interface with the more full spectrum of nature. So the pursuit of a deeper connection or understanding or overstanding of the self, the universe, and often a higher power or transcendent reality which inevitably involves exploring questions related to the meaning and purpose of life, the nature of existence, and one's relationship with something greater than oneself will lead us back to nature. It's a personal and subjective journey, and it can encompass a wide range of beliefs, practices, and experiences. This subject could be a 100,000-hour plus conversation. But as we wind this simple summary down, we will say any country that has engaged in settler colonialism, which are most to all of them, which is a result of the darkness of the world, otherwise called empire spreading, have worked very hard to reduce, if not outright remove, the future occupants of those countries' spiritual heritage. So fast forward into modernity. If a system one is within is heavily removed from nature and thus not made by nature, then problems and Sturgeon's law set in. A lot of smart, educated, science-appreciating, and intellectual secular people can be turned off by the word spiritual because they instantly but incorrectly associate it with religion and the problems of religion. And it's been very intentional that we have not included religion in these definitions. Although a simple and valid definition of religion is any system of faith, worship, or practice, we will say the phrase spiritual but not religious has validity, as spirituality may be heavily, if not completely, removed from organized religious systems. And the more that is the case, many of which, if we are truly honest, hand on heart, have had for thousands of years a very, very, very dysfunctional track record. Outside of the large organized religions of the world, there are also many smaller systems that claim to be spiritual but are also just incredibly dysfunctional, if not outright garbage woo. One can listen to 100 spiritual podcasts or channels or threads or articles, and 90 of them will be crap. So regardless of what any system is doing, big or small, organized or not, if it is not leading to deeper interconnectedness with our natural environment, i.e. the natural world, and is instead replacing those things with other things, we have red flags.